Hello YouTube, my name is Antoine, or as some of you may know me as Django from TikTok, and I'm here to do my review on Premier League Game Week 13. It was a very interesting game week. Up first with a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday, we have Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest, which ended 1-0 to Nottingham Forest at home. A very poor performance from Liverpool. Their attackers barely had any chances, and honestly, they deserve to lose the way they played, really. Next up, we have Everton versus Crystal Palace at Goodison Park. A 3-0 win to Everton, Calvert-Lewin on the score sheet. Anthony Gordon also on the score sheet, as he's one of their best players in my opinion. And someone who you don't see a lot, Iwobi, getting an assist. Manchester City versus Brighton ended 3-1 at the Etihad. Haaland brace, one being a penalty, one being from open play. But Brighton did actually play well, and they managed to get a goal from Trossard, who again, I believe is their best player this season. Chelsea versus Man U ended 1-1 with a Jorginho penalty from a Mctominay foolish mistake in my opinion. But Casemiro manages to save us from a free kick, putting it just past Kepa with a header. In my opinion, great performance from him and Eriksen in the midfield, and he's now off the mark for Manchester United. Aston Villa versus Brentford ended 4-0 to Villa. In my opinion, this is very suspicious as Gerrard has just been sacked off of them playing consistently bad. But all of a sudden, Danny Ings is able to score 2 goals in 14 minutes. They can score 2 minutes in. It's just all a bit suspicious to me. But well done to Villa for winning 4-0. Fulham versus Leeds ended 3-2 to Fulham. Is Leeds' great start coming to an end? You have to wonder. In my opinion, I believe it is. It's starting to go very wrong for them again. Andreas Pereira with 2 assists, and we'll see how the rest of the season shapes up for both of these teams, who could possibly be fighting relegation later. Arsenal versus Southampton ended 1-1 at St Mary. Honestly, I was expecting this to be an Arsenal win. They're the best team in the league at the moment, top of the table. But honestly, you'd expect a lot better from them. But Southampton really pulled together and they managed to get their goal and their equaliser at home in front of their fans to make it 1-1. Leicester versus Wolves. Very bad start for Wolves to this season, in my opinion. They're like in the relegation fight, and in my opinion they shouldn't be. They have some great players whom I'm now thinking have to leave because their team's just not performing that well. Leicester grab another win. Jamie Vardy, you have to wonder, is he back to his best after a goal and an assist? But honestly, great win for Leicester. Another Maddison goal as well, as he continues to be their best player. Spurs versus Newcastle at home, 2-1 Newcastle. Terrible result for Spurs. Newcastle go up to 4th with Wilson and Almiron leading the charge. Honestly, even with St Max and Isaac injured, Newcastle are still showing that they are now a class team, and they're up to 4th ahead of Man U and Chelsea, which you would just never expect to see in a million years, really. 2-0 West Ham over Bournemouth. In my opinion, this had to have been at least 1-0. That first goal shouldn't have stood, but it did. VAR again. And Ben Rama, in my opinion, definitely the man of the match and the man to get the second goal off of a penalty. Next, we have the review of the Premier League table at the end of the game week. At the top of the table, we still have Arsenal, and second, we still have City after a win for City and a draw for Arsenal. In third, we have Tottenham, even after their loss to Newcastle, who are now 2 points behind them at 4th. We still have Chelsea and Man U a point apart in 5th and 6th. Fulham actually in 7th, ahead of Liverpool in 8th, Brighton in 9th, and West Ham in 10th. We have Brentford at 11th. Their season is actually going better than I expected it. Everton, their season's going decently. They're still in mid-table. We have Crystal Palace in 13th, Bournemouth in 14th, and Aston Villa in 15th, and their season looks like it's on the up and up, really. Southampton in 16th with Leicester in 17th, just above relegation for Leicester after their 4-0 win. We have Leeds, who have dropped down to 18th, Wolves, who stay at 19th, and Forest, who even after their win stay at the bottom. A lot of these teams are in completely different places from where I predicted them to be, but this is football. You're never going to get everything right. But I will be doing another review on who I think is going to win the league and where I think everyone else will come later this season. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next week on Antoine's Analysis here on my YouTube, Antoine HL, to review Premier League Game Week 14.